Have you ever seen a king declared dead while he was still sitting on the throne? Right now, the financial headlines would have you believe that Adobe, the company that literally turned photoshopping into a verb, is a walking ghost. They say artificial intelligence is the Adobe killer. They say a teenager with a prompt can replace a professional with a Creative Cloud subscription. The stock has been beaten, bruised, and left for dead by the same AI hype that is currently fueling the rest of the tech world. But here is the reality. The market is suffering from a massive case of short-term amnesia. While everyone is chasing the shiny new objects of AI generation, they are forgetting about the workflow. They are forgetting about the standard. And they are forgetting that Adobe is currently building the most powerful, ethically sourced AI engine on the planet. Today, we are going to debunk the death of Adobe narrative. We're going to talk about the micro-headwinds that have created this once-in-a-decade buying opportunity, the massive SaaS rotation that is coming, and exactly how the stock can fly when the market finally comes to its senses. This isn't just a stock analysis. It's a masterclass in seeing value where others only see fear. Hey there, my name is Anthony, and welcome to Growing Your Wealth. Okay. To be a successful investor, you have to separate price action from business quality. Adobe's recent price downturn isn't because they stopped making money. In fact, they are making more money than ever. It's a perfect storm of three specific micro headwinds. First, well, there was the Figma fallout. When Adobe's $20 billion acquisition of Figma was blocked by regulators, the market panicked. Investors saw it as a sign that Adobe couldn't buy its way into the future anymore. Well, we'll see how that works out. Second, we have the SaaS fatigue. High interest rates, well, they've pushed investors away from software as a service and more towards hardware like NVIDIA and AMD. Third, the most importantly, is the OpenAI and Sora fear. Every time a new AI video or image generator is announced, Adobe stock plummets. It drops, everybody freaks out. But here is what the bears are missing. Adobe didn't need Figma to survive. They have $8 billion in cash now to buy back their own shares at a discount.
This is a time Adobe's stock has been down, just like a lot of software, over these AI concerns. Tell me your thinking behind now being the time for this transition.
Well, as you say, John, we've known each other a long time too. It feels like 18 years ago when we talked about what Adobe was going to do for the future of creativity. And when I take a step back, first and foremost, the impact that we have had, whether it's on customers, whether it's on employees, on the era of creativity, and returning to shareholders, I think the company has done just an absolutely amazing job. To me, with AI and the disruption that's going to happen, it was really important that we got our strategy place. And when we think about our audience-based strategy, what we are doing around business professionals and consumers, how we're targeting creators and creative professionals, as well as the creative pro and the marketing professional community, I feel really good about the strategy that's in place.
The SaaS beatdown it's only cyclical, it's not permanent. And AI generators are not competitors to Adobe, they are features of Adobe. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. Will AI replace Adobe? Well, the short answer is no. And you're gonna ask why? Well, because a prompt is not a product. And let me be real with you, I'm a photographer, a videographer, a filmmaker, whatever you wanna put into that category. And guess what I use? That's right, I use Adobe. I'm not going to prompt Gemini, ChatGPT, or any of the other AI bots to edit my videos or pictures. That's my creative design that I've crafted over many years of use. It's unique to me, and no matter how good AI is, it can't replace the human element in creativity. Don't get me wrong, AI is amazing in what it does. I use it for so many things, as many of you do. The thing is, how many times do you have to command a prompt to get to the point where you say, okay, fine, I'll just go with that, that's good enough.
if you think about the innovation, we're going to show just an amazing amount of innovation, all the way from models and what we are doing with Firefly, all the way up to what we are doing around the CX enterprise. And so serving that entire constituency. And so I feel good about the strategy. I feel really good about the innovation that we're delivering. The momentum in the business continues. And while you point out that the stock, as it relates to all of software, there are questions around it, I'm actually more confident about the company's future. And I'd like to go back to my first love, which is building products and focusing on customers.
But things are different with Adobe's products as they utilize artificial intelligence to assist the creator in remaining the creator and utilizing their creative mind. Imagine you're a professional designer for a Fortune 500 company, okay? You can't just tell an AI, hey, make me a cool logo, and it'd be done. You need layers. You need vector scalability. You need brand consistent colors. You need to be able to edit the left eye of a character without changing the right eye, Yeah. Adobe Firefly, their generative AI, is integrated directly into Photoshop and Illustrator. It allows professionals to do in 5 seconds what used to take 5 hours. Adobe isn't being replaced by AI. Adobe is weaponizing AI to make their moat even deeper. While other AI tools are toys for hobbyists, Adobe remains the tool for professionals. It is what it is. For right now, it is what it is. Furthermore, Adobe's AI is trained on licensed content. In a world of copyright lawsuits, big corporations can't use AI tools that steal from artists. Adobe is the safe haven for enterprise AI. That is a competitive advantage that no startup can replicate overnight. We are currently in a market divergence. Hardware is booming while software, it's being ignored. But history tells us that hardware booms always lead to software booms. Once the data centers are built and the chips are installed, the world needs software to actually do something with that power.
Put this in the context for me of a couple of the major challenges as you came in as CEO. Back then, software was still being sold on shelves and on DVDs. You led one of the first successful transitions to software as a service. And you also, Adobe wasn't an enterprise software company before you started those acquisitions that expanded into experience, expanded into marketing. Is this AI transition more challenging? Is it differently challenging? Has it been something different than you expected?
Well, let's talk first about what's common.
Yeah.
And what's common is this amazing amount of technology that's actually going to revolutionize how creativity happens, how marketing happens, how customer experience orchestration happens. And if you think about the fundamental secular trends, there's more content that's being created than ever before. Enterprises need to engage with every one of their consumers digitally. So I think what's common is the opportunity that exists to continue to bring technology to bear in these domains of creativity, marketing, is actually as large as it's been before. What's also common is the fact that when you think about the innovation that's being delivered, the pace of innovation is actually accelerating, and it's building on all the previous generations. So, as you point out, we were thinking about graphics and computing in the PC era, and we transitioned that to the mobile era, and then the cloud era, and SaaS, and now AI.
Adobe, they are a cash flow machine. They have 90% gross margins. They have a 90% retention rate. They have billions in recurring revenue that arrives like clockwork every single month. Trust me, every time I see an offer for a competitor to sell me a product for editing workflows on a one-time lifetime ownership product, that Adobe membership still clears the bank account while I'm trying out the other inferior product. I'm deep in their ecosystem and they have me hooked. When the market stops obsessing over who makes the chip and starts looking at who owns the user, Adobe is going to be at the top of every buy list. The market will eventually come to its senses when it realized that growth at a reasonable price is better than hype at any price. Adobe is currently trading at its lowest forward P in years. You are getting a world-class growth company at a boring utility price. Okay, so let's talk about the numbers. Where can this stock actually go? Scenario A, you have average growth. If Adobe continues to grow at its current 10 to 12% rate, and we see a modest return to its historical PE multiple of 30, the stock has a clear path to its all-time highs of 600 to 630. Dollars, that is. This represents over a 100% return from current levels. Depending on when you're watching this video, of course, it could be higher, it could be lower. And that's just simply by returning to the normal. Scenario B, we have above average growth. I'm going to call this the AI tailwind. If Adobe successfully monetizes Firefly through its generative credits and it expands its Acrobat Document Cloud AI assistant, we could see revenue growth accelerate to 15 or 18%.
I think what's different a little bit is that people are really thinking about, what happens to the future of software. And I think actually I think the bears have it all wrong. I actually believe that there's going to be more opportunity for creative companies than ever before. But we have to navigate that. We have to navigate these new surfaces like LLMs and make sure that you can perform your creative functions there. We have to make sure that we can deliver conversational interfaces. So all the modalities by which people want to engage with computing is possible. But let me just give you some trends. When we talk about SaaS and the impact, we're serving 70 billion profiles as it relates to what we're doing on customer experience for our customers. We're performing 35 trillion transactions a day.
Right.
When we think about the end user adoption, we have about 850 million monthly average users as a combination of Acrobat and what we are doing with Express and Creative Cloud and Firefly. That doesn't strike me as, ways in which we are saying that we're on the back foot. In fact, we are going to be aggressive about delivering.
In this scenario, with the market's rotation into SaaS, we could see a multiple expansion to 35 or 40 times earnings. That puts Adobe's price on trajectory toward $800 to $850 per share by the end of 2026 alone. Now, I know this is not probably going to happen, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. When the death of Adobe narrative is proven false, the snapback rally will be violent. You want to be positioned before that happens, not chasing it after the headlines change. Just think of companies like Micron and my favorite, AMD. Love that company. Investing in Adobe right now isn't about following the crowd. It's about having the vision to see the king through the fog. It's about understanding that a temporary price downturn is a gift for the diligent investor. Adobe is the infrastructure of the digital world. As long as the world needs content, the world will need Adobe. They aren't a dead stock. They are a coiled spring waiting to rocket up. I'll leave you with a bit of biblical wisdom that perfectly captures the current state of Adobe. Job 14:7-9 says, "A tree has hope. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail. Though its roots grow old in the ground and its stump dies in the soil, at the scent of water it will flourish and put forth shoots like a new plant." The market thinks the Adobe tree has been cut down by AI, but the roots are deep. The cash flow is the water, and the new shoots of Firefly are already beginning to sprout. Don't let the scent of water pass you by while you're still mourning the stump. All right, that's it. That's it. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're like me and enjoy growth investing, check out my opinion on AMD. Right here, right there. As always, happy investing, and may God truly bless each and every one of you.